Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of 一语道破. On night of April 7th and early hours of April 8th, many people were watching the performance of US stock market. We witnessed a dramatic sense of so-called Trump's versus Hayek, with the most attention-grabbing elements being Trump's latest remarks and the spread of related news. Let's start with Trump. After Trump swinged his tariff stick at the world, China would first stand up and retaliate with 11 measures, including 34% of tariffs, which shocked the world. The world saw a responsible major country firmly, reasonably, advantageously, and with restraint define its sovereignty, security, and development interest. At the same time, China acted responsibly to uphold the international multilateral trade systems and protect the global order. Naturally, Trump reacted to the consequences of his actions. A stock market crash, widespread market dissatisfaction, and the vote with their feet by investors. As Trump once said, if a president's Dow Jones drops 1,000 points in a single day, he should be stuffed into a canoe and fired at the sun. By the standard, Trump should have been launched into the space and back multiple times already. After all, the Dow Jones plumbed over 2,200 points. Initially, Trump doubled down to his blasters, claiming China is panicking, and China made a mistake, shouting meaningless rhetoric. Then, on the evening of April 7th, the US time, he posted a lengthy tweet on his Truth social media, threatening if China doesn't cancel its tariffs on the US by April 8th, I will add another 50 percentage points to existing tariffs, pushing the accumulated tariffs to over 100%. This hysterical escalation was an attempt to pressure China through brinkmanship. He also declared that he will halt all negotiating with China and instead negotiating with others, and as if to ask, aren't you scared? Let's set aside the rationality of his tariff logic, focusing purely on the tariff and its implications. Trump's tweet once again exposed his weakness. Beyond the impotent rage, his threat to negotiate with lower tariff with other countries implies he will use preferential rates to isolate China. A Chinese netizen responded very directly, "Let the world become a huge Yangtze Lake," a metaphor for free-flow markets. Market forces are fluid, bypassing barriers and finding optimal paths under profit incentives. Tariffs on irreplaceable goods will only lead to higher prices and welfare losses for the United States. Psychologically, Trump's new tariff threat revealed his inner turmoil. Early, he claimed China's retaliation was wrongdoing. If so, why escalate with 50% threat? If shows panic, he's betting China won't retaliate, trying to scare China into retreat and venting his frustration to his bases to prove he's still the strong man of MAGA. Behind this posturing lies fragility and incompetence. Trump's very dramatic threat over 100% tariff exemplify the game of chicken will begin formally. He aims to bully the world, prioritizing U.S. interest over the global fairness. He wields tariffs as a weapon to intimidate, especially targeting China, the nation dare to resist. He hopes to force unilateral coercions, ignoring economic principles. While Trump may disdain economic logic, he excels at bluffing, convinced he's the toughest, believing others will lean on his glare. His tactics also include systematic lying. For example, he claimed that 50 countries have called to negotiate with tariff, yet the list including China, meaning rudely diplomatic exchanges are spawned as a surrender. Similarly, Vietnam was portrayed as a capitulating, but in reality, they proposed a mutual zero tariff. When Vietnam refused unilateral concessions, Trump taxed them anyway. China's counterstrike struck Trump's Achilles heel. His victory now hinges on the minimal retaliations. His Treasury Secretary even urged nations to take the hit without fighting back. Some allies parrot his narrative, warning against tariff wars to avoid another world war, a distorting of history. The real lesson from Trump's the world needs fairness, not hegemony. China's stance is clear. Trump's hysterical coercions in the epitome of reckless, ignorant, and tyrannical behaviors. When a rogue superpower wields such menace, submission is not an option. We must resist, defending not just our own interest, but global justice and multilateral world orders. This is a game of chicken where we cannot blink. Compromise with Trump will only invite more extortions. This fight must be fought to the end. China, along with all nations and Americans yearning for stability, must unite to curb Trump's destabilizing impact. It's a historical challenge, but that's the one we must face with resolve. Thank you for watching.